Hello, welcome to Access. I'm Rob. Joining us is Dave.
Hello.
Dave, we have finally played, or I have finally played, Devil May Cry 5.
Yes, you did, Rob. I know this is something you were actually really looking forward to at Gamescom.
Yes, this is the first time we've had hands-on with the game. This is my capture of the game. And instantly it reminded me why I love Devil May Cry so much.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time.
Yes.
Especially this branch of Devil May Cry. This picks up after Devil May Cry 4.
Yes.
So this is Nero we're playing as. Nero with his special magic demon arm, which in Devil May Cry 5 is like a special robotic arm, which you will learn more about.
They're popular at the moment.
But I love the whole aesthetic of Devil May Cry 5. It's this grungy, evil-looking urban thing with like horrible demonic stuff all over the place. It feels like the classic kind of Devil May Cry games that I fell in love with all those years ago, and playing it instantly reminded me why I enjoyed those games so much. Usually I'm not a massive fan of games that are difficult, as you know. I don't really like to be challenged in games. I like a nice, easy game. But there's something about Devil May Cry, it's always been quite difficult, but when you get the hang of the combat in Devil May Cry games, there is nothing quite as satisfying as stringing together an amazing S-rank combo in a Devil May Cry game, because you know you've earned that. When you hit S-rank, you know it's because you're damn good at the game.
It's not luck.
Here's me getting a D-rank. Dismal. This is the first time I've played a Devil May Cry game in a long time. So I start out and I'm like, oh man, you get those early feelings where it's like, oh, I'm not very good at the game, but it's the start of an epic journey towards getting the higher ranks of the combo, and you start to feel your way back into the game. You've got your sword on triangle, and you've got your guns on square,
right,
and you've also got a grapple ability with circle, which enables Nero to use his arm. You can use it to batter enemies away. You can sort of detonate your arm and explode it off as a means of countering attacks. If a boss is lining up a big blow on you, for example, you can detonate your arm to interrupt their attack, but you lose your arm, and you have to go and find another one and hook it back on you.
Right, okay, that's quite the
so it's sort of like that risk reward type system. You've got to if you detonate your arm, you're going to be without your arm for a bit, so use that detonation power cleverly.
Just right. It's a bit of a last ditch kind of a thing.
But here we are, and it's just the combat. For me personally, there is no better example of the, I don't really want to call it hack and slash, but I mean, that type of genre that Platinum Games have dominated with Bayonetta and things like that. I think for me, Devil May Cry is the absolute pinnacle of that genre of game. And just from this very short burst of playing Devil May Cry 5, it feels like this is going to be no different. It's going to be a battle system that requires a lot of effort to become a master of, but one that is incredibly satisfying. And then you get the ridiculous cutscenes like this, where he is dodging cars and then kicking them away.
Yes.
And you get the classic trash talk, and it's just so much fun to play.
And we haven't even mentioned like how incredible it looks. It looks absolutely the I don't know what's going on. These kind of sparks that are flying during combat. It's like I think it's
that's just me being brilliant. That's me discharging my arm.
Right.
That's not me exploding it. That's me. You can hit people with it with a tap of circle. If you hold down circle, you will charge it up and do a more powerful attack, or you can press L1, which detonates it.
Right. Okay. And that kind of like crosshairs that's coming up over enemies. Is that to show that you can use your grapple?
That's locked. That's me locking on.
They've just been locked on.
And I'm now realizing that I can go in the air. And then later on, you will see me incorporating my ability to grapple enemies. And the cool thing about the grapple is, in these kind of games, here we go, grappling enemies towards me, so I'm bringing them into the air. So when you're fighting a group of enemies, a good strategy to use is to jump up in the air, grapple an enemy up towards you, so you're fighting one enemy at a time in the air.
Yeah.
It's just, a simple strategy that you will learn early on.
I didn't know this was Rob's pro tips. Wow.
This is, I'm not calling myself a Devil May Cry pro, but that's a thing I learned having played this demo for 10 minutes.
You're getting close to an A rank here, Rob. He's only going made the A rank.
There we go.
Will we see an S? Not this time.
Apocalyptic.
There's still time.
It's
an amazing looking game. I mean, the start we saw the classic wet cobbles I'm a big fan of wet cobbles. I mean,
and
that's
just this, like the idea of clearing out an area of demons and then the door to the next area sort of disappearing.
It's just nice, isn't it? You know where
it's
you're at
old
with that.
school, but and that's exactly how the old Devil May Cry games were structured. You know, you get into an area and you see the demonic skulls covering the door, and you know, I'm not getting out of this room until I kill everything that's in here.
Absolutely.
And then you set about doing your work.
I like that. Yeah, I like that as just a kind of
some of that table
gameplay. You really saw that. That was an S rank on the table.
Yeah.
Like, you just know where you're at. You know what you've got to do. It's kind of nice and controlled, and I'm a big fan of that. I love that kind of cloud of sparks, that sort of electricity that you're
I mean, it's
triggering.
weird watching this back now, because when you're actually playing it, you're not really noticing that. You're so focused on, okay, there's an enemy there, I need to kill that enemy.
Yeah.
And then watching it back, you realise how absolutely spectacular
Look at it.
looks.
The effects are incredible. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
And Nero does look a lot different to how he looked in Devil May Cry 4 as well.
In what way?
He's got shorter hair, he's got a more sort of square-jawed face.
Yeah.
He's grown up, basically.
I must admit, I've not played any of the Devil May
Apocalyptic. You are missing
Cry
out, Dave.
games, and I just know how much I would get into this. How important the ranking system is, and how, like you say, just developing that flow, knowing that you can't kind of luck your way to an S rank.
No, not at all. And
you've got to plan it, or there's skill involved. You know?
Nathan was watching me play this, and he was asking me how the rankings worked. I was sort of describing it as, in Nathan's language, it's a bit like Resogun, where to keep your ranking going, you have to be continually hitting enemies. If you go a period of time without making contact with an enemy, you will lose your ranking. It will start to go down. If you get hit, it starts to go down as well.
Yeah.
So you've got to avoid being hit, whilst also hitting. It's a combat system that rewards aggression, and it rewards proactiveness. It's not about hanging back and blocking, or you can dodge, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's about you just kicking ass, basically. And there is nothing more satisfying, as I said, than absolutely nailing an area of demons and destroying them all with a triple S rank combo.
It's chaining everything together as well, isn't it? Like, they've worked so hard on the animations and things to make it so that it flows together, and it doesn't feel like a series of like button pushes. It's just like Nero is just moving from one enemy to the next, from one move to the next, sort of fluidly. What is happening, Rob? Do you know what's happening in this part of the story?
I don't know. Story-wise, we don't know. This is mission 2, so something obviously story-wise happens in mission 1.
Yeah.
Very little is known about the story so far. We know from the reveal trailer that Dante, however you like to pronounce his name, is back. He is in the game. We saw him briefly in the trailer on his chopper, I think we call it, his cool motorbike.
Nice.
We don't know what part Dante has to play in the game.
Right. So we don't know if he's a playable character, or
that might have been confirmed. I don't know for sure.
Fair enough.
We're just playing as Nero in this demo.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's he's one of the most iconic characters in PlayStation history. He's up there, like he's in the same league as Solid Snake in terms of
iconic
lone wolf badass.
Yeah.
You've got Solid Snake, Geralt, Dante.
That's
They're
it.
Just
the three
just
of them.
those, actually. Yeah.
I wonder if they get together ever for meet
Who would
up.
win in a fight?
Oh, no, that is a question for the comments.
if those three all had like a battle royale, who would come out on top?
I think it might be Dante.
It probably would be Dante. Yeah. Although Snake would just find a way to win. Snake's beaten up a 30-foot nuclear-equipped robot mech thing.
That's true.
And he's done it lots of times.
Yes.
But then I guess Dante has fought like actual gods as well.
He didn't do it too well when Nathan and I were working with him that time.
He didn't, did he?
To be fair.
So here's a little puzzle. Find a weird little tiny bug thing and put it in this disgusting looking thing. It's just calling it a thing.
It's
just
I
a
saw
mess
it's called
of
a Nidhogg, actually.
Yes.
I mean, and all I know about Nidhogg is it's a great video game. Well, I mean,
when something's blocking your path in Devil May Cry, usually the solution is hit it.
Yeah.
And we've done that there to great effect.
Do you have any sense of where this is in the world?
Story-wise, I know, I can't really talk about what's going on in the story.
Well, that's fine. Although I did just think that we saw a red telephone box.
Nathan was saying that. Is this London?
Yeah.
There's a crane there. Who knows?
I mean, we have cranes in London. We have buildings in London.
Just like this.
So it could be, who knows? We do have red telephone boxes in London, but apart from that, I can't recognise any landmarks immediately.
So this, I did a nice little...
You've got to take the time.
You've got to
take the
time. Yeah.
I mean,
also, I like the way Nero's clothes sort of ripple in the breeze as well. Very nice.
Oh, I like the way that the walls just disappear to accommodate this pan. You know, some games, they're solid and the camera bangs into them and you have to go over the top and whatever.
Yeah, the game knows what I'm trying to do here. And here, we are about to encounter... Look at this. Is there anything more amazing than that? He just knew. Where do you think Nero is?
That's quite a British ambulance there, Rob, as well. Just saying.
And he's inside it.
Inside the ambulance. I thought it had left him behind. I thought, that's amazing.
And here we go. We're now introduced to the boss of this area, Goliath.
Wow. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
Oh, and also one of my favourite things about Devil May Cry is when you face a boss like this. It's not like Dark Souls where you're like, oh no, and you know it's going to be like, 4 or 5 hours of trying until you succeed. You almost relish this in Devil May Cry games. It's like, right, I'm going to kick your ass. Because the trash talk of previously Dante, but now Nero, they're just great little bits of trash talk. Look how cocky he is. He's dodged it and he's now just, come on. And that imbues you, the player, with confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not to say that the bosses are easy by any stretch of the imagination. Some of the Devil May Cry bosses are up there with some of the toughest bosses I've ever
It's
fought.
an attitude thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, Rob, it's worth saying that we are going to nip away from this boss fight before it actually gets going.
I'm going to show you something else for people who may want to be getting into Devil May Cry but have not played any of the Devil May Cry games, or who just want to be able to look amazing without being particularly a master of the battle system. There's a thing in Devil May Cry 5 called auto assist, which basically allows you to pull off incredible looking combos with simple button inputs. So we are going to see a bit of that in a sec.
And so the gameplay we've seen so far is just
regular mode. No assists on any of the combos or anything.
We've decided here, even after seeing Goliath introduced.
So here we are. We're going to go back to Goliath in a minute, but here's a room that we saw earlier, and now I'm using auto assist. So I'm just pressing. At the moment, I'm just doing triangle. I'm attacking with my sword with triangle, and yet Nero is flying about all over the place.
You've already got an S. You've got 2 S's. We're not going to see all 3.
And I think we are.
No.
Smoking sexy style.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This is a really cool way for people who, like I said, have not played very much Devil May Cry and want to get into it and want a bit of an easier route into the game to look amazing. Because one of the best things about Devil May Cry is looking amazing in combat. You can do that if you want. You can put auto assist on. If you want the true Devil May Cry experience, just don't put that on. And play like this. So back to Goliath.
And this is back to the
regular, no auto assist.
So when you get your triple S ranking against Goliath, we'll know it was a real one.
Exactly. Yeah. Hilariously, maybe I'll tell you the story at the end.
Right.
But this is my fight with Goliath. This was a difficult fight. And the Capcom representative who was with me said that it was maybe 50-50.
Yeah.
People beating Goliath or not. Very few people beat Goliath on their first attempt.
And is this your first attempt?
Yes, it is. I am being honest.
Okay.
I'll be honest. If I died, I would say I died.
Yeah.
This is my first attempt at Goliath. And what I like about it is how the battle changes stages.
I was going to say I'm a big fan of that. That's great.
At the moment, it's not looking good for me. He's taken quite a bit of my health off, and I've not really done that much damage to him. Maybe a quarter of his health.
He's not messing around. He's absolutely no respect for the architecture.
But you will see the grapple system here, whereas when you have small enemies, you pull them towards you. When it's a larger enemy, you pull yourself towards them, which allows you to close the distance to bosses like this, who like to do big, area-damaging attacks. So quite often, to avoid those attacks, you have to move far away from the boss. A good way of closing the distance after that is to grapple them. And pull yourself in.
And we saw a good example of the kind of ranking system there. You made up to B, Rob, and then you got hit.
Back to D now.
Went back to D, took a lot of damage from the boss, and that is the price you pay.
Look at how he's broken the window with that.
And
nice. This is just bad.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to see an example here. It's given me a little tip there. Press L1 to detonate your arm, and you'll break away from that. So there I am, detonating my arm, which sort of interrupts his attack.
Yeah, that's good. And if you recovered your
I'm
arm,
in trouble now.
Did you recover your arm?
I've got another one there. You can see I've got 1 of 4.
Ah, right.
But I really need to be finding some green orbs because my health is not looking too good at the moment.
Where are they likely to come from?
Just hanging around.
Just hanging around.
Just hanging around on the floor. I'm appreciating the nice sunset here. Like I said before, when I was actually fighting this guy, I was not paying attention to how nice the sunset looked. But it's quite nice. I found a green orb.
I'm
back in business now.
Actually blown away by how good it looks. I think it's a fantastic looking game. With this amount of movement on the screen and everything, it just looks, there's so much fidelity. I think Goliath is a really cool boss as well. I think
fans of Devil May Cry are going to be excited that it's back.
Yeah.
It feels like coming home.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. We also didn't talk about how Goliath's got a mouth in his belly.
Yeah.
It seems to be full of lava as well.
I mean, that's a classic Devil May Cry sort of grotesque boss design.
Yeah. And this is mission 2. I mean, we're not hanging around. To be fair,
I maintain that in the first Devil May Cry, when you fight Phantom, who's like a big lava scorpion, he's one of the hardest first bosses I've ever fought. Like, he was an absolute nightmare when I first fought him, and when I second fought him, and third and fourth and fifth.
Yeah,
it took me ages.
Yeah, but then that stood you in good stead for the rest of the game, I'm sure. We're close here, Rob. I've got a good feeling about this.
Have you got a good feeling?
Well, you're going to have to get very impatient, I think, to mess this up now. Although I'm sure we just have some tricks up his sleeve, like that. Yes. Basically, a small nuclear blast.
It's all right. I've sort of avoided that. He's going down with the sun.
And we're back to Dismal. No, yeah.
Dismal, mate.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll take
Absolutely Dismal.
As long as I'm winning this fight, I will take Dismal.
It's not even rated Dismal at the moment. It's nothing. There's been no comment at the game site when you haven't done anything.
No.
Here we go.
Fine, D again. Dismal. Oh, C. Crazy.
Are we going to see your mission, the rank for your mission as well?
I hope so. I mean, Nathan said it in this video. I hope he's left my rank in. The building's falling down on top of it. Look at that.
That's great, isn't it? Look at the smoke. The sun coming through the smoke. Oh, it's just gorgeous.
We're back to Dismal again
Rubble
now.
everywhere.
He's still alive.
He's not finished yet.
Oh, that was great. I loved that so much. And then...
Nice way to finish.
Just a little swipe. A casual swipe. There we go.
Well played.
Oh, so yeah, I did beat him on my first go, Dave.
I'm impressed, Rob.
Hilariously.
Well done. Dismally, but you did do it.
I mean, I buried him. Buried him in a load of building.
Yeah.
When I played it the second time with auto assist on, I lost the fight.
That's strange, isn't
Hilariously. And it was strange because I was absolutely destroying him, and I got up to S. I was S ranking him. I had an S rank combo, and I just got complacent. It was going too. I mean, I think that's all right. That's respectable.
Yeah, that's the lowest rank you ever want, isn't it? A B. You can live with a B. I think you've done well there. And stylish is exactly right. What a stylish looking game.
And this is the cool thing about it. As soon as you finish a level and you get a B, you want to go back and play it and try and get an S rank.
Yeah, absolutely.
So